This is my first ever hop in the semi, Jordan. Whoa, sitting at the wheel of the Tesla Semi. Suspension slam dump. This video is brought to you by StarCharge, the largest EV charging manufacturer in the world. They are also a provider of residential and commercial battery storage with microgrid solutions. Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video, and welcome to the Tesla Semi. Finally, the first time we're actually ever able to get this thing on the channel. We are at ACT Expo in Las Vegas, and in this video I'm going to not take you on a full tour. I'm not going to drive it with you for the first time, but we are going to explore it a little bit. And actually I just got out of riding in it, so I can explain to you what that was like. Of course, with Tesla it's always hard to get videos in. Sometimes we can't share everything we want to share. The details are a bit cagey, but I at least want to give you my first impressions of the Tesla Semi, show you around it. We're going to go inside, play with the software screens. Just a quick video, pretty fun, but not all of the nerd details that you guys are used to seeing from us, and that's mostly because Tesla is being a bit quiet on all of the details. But I'll share with you at least what I can gather and what my understanding is throughout today's episode. Behind me is the Tesla Semi, and the Semi comes in two main configurations. They have a 300-mile range and 500-mile range. Now I'm going to do a little bit of math. So they won't say how big the battery is on this thing, Jordan.
Yeah, they're keeping quiet. They're saying standard range, long range. That's what they call it.
So you have 500 miles of range in whatever drive cycle they have. And they also quote 1.7 kilowatt hour per mile.
Yep.
So what we need to do is multiply 500 times 1.7.
Yep.
So that's 850 kilowatt hours. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, we're just basing that off of what we saw on the truck.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And this one we checked. You'll see it in a clip inside. Has, I don't know, almost 2,000 miles with 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour consumption. So that's a juicy battery.
And this thing's been working.
Also, a high voltage system architecture.
Pretty cool.
Yep. So they actually have chargers that they bring around. There's one. We filmed one at Baker when I saw the mega charger for the first time. I can leave that video linked. But they actually have 1,000-volt capable DC chargers, and they don't use NACS on this. They actually use an early version of MCS, and that's just because MCS 3, the triangular one that everyone's moving to, wasn't available. But this should be updated with full MCS coming very soon. So we're not sure on charging speeds, but we're talking big power. Probably a megawatt level charging is what they've alluded to, so that would be 1,000 kilowatts of charging. Big boy charging speeds, Jordan.
Nice. Yep, that's what it needs for those long hauls. Because it's a long haul truck, so.
Absolutely, it's the first long haul electric truck that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot others in the show, which we'll have a different video on, a tour of this crazy
Yeah, we
place.
did a full tour of this whole thing, and of course Volvo trucks as well. Just front trunk things over here.
Front trunk? What front trunk?
What front trunk? You can fit things here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just put some charging cables, bring your level 1.
Your EVSE.
Yeah. Hey, Francie.
Hey, y'all.
What do you think of the Tesla Semi?
I haven't seen under the hood yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah, but
Some HVAC stuff.
standing outside and all the ride and drives are happening with the trucks. It is the quietest thing ever. The loudest thing was the air conditioning on the buildings behind me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I love that.
Because this came out in my
Here we go. Headlights
pretty
doing.
good.
This is the light check for the trailer, I guess. The truck looks awesome. Central driving position. It's a ground up electric vehicle from the inception, so it's not like a converted chassis, of course, and it just makes so much more sense, in my opinion, to do it this way rather than to, convert a combustion truck with maybe some inefficiencies and things like that along the way. You can see the entrance over here. You have this little staircase that you walk up. On the door, you actually have your compartments that you can open, your front trunk, as well as a little side door back here. And is it okay if I open the side door? Okay, so let's pull the little switch. Oh, I just heard the latch go. Auto open side door. How sick is that? So cool. And you can see there's a little storage compartment in here, which is nice. You can just keep some things typical of trucks, but this is huge.
You've heard of the frunk. This is the side trunk.
Amazing, love it. And then this would be the charging port for MCS, I guess. Oh, check that out. And it's the old MCS plug in there, even with the same little light up Tesla badge there. So this probably will go to MCS 3, I guess, is whatever we're on now, the finalized version, but they just needed to ship the truck, is what Dan was saying yesterday during his presentation. You have, juicy motors over here. A lot of components and everything. You have your airbags. This truck has been used. So this is hardcore. It's got rocks all over the tires. I love it. None of these shiny show trucks. This is a legit used one here. And you can do a low roof version, but this is all for aero if you have a tall trailer.
Is the rear camera up there?
Oh, yeah?
Hiding.
Where? Oh, okay. Right there. Very nice. Tesla just does it right, man. This is so cool. It looks like they're using, what tires on this one? X-Line, probably Michelin would be my guess. Yep.
X-Line Energy.
Yeah. X-Line Energy, love to see that. 275/80 R225s. And I think 100 PSI on the drive axles back here, 120 PSI on the steer up front. It's independent suspension actually, and there's no like chassis cab isolators in there. So the whole riding experience is crazy. Truck's on full air suspension, so you can raise and lower it, dip underneath the trailer, raise it back up. Pretty standard in trucking, I would say. Drive units, there's 2 of them as far as I understand it. There is a dual permanent magnet, the tri-motor, the rear of the tri-motor from the Plaid, and then an induction secondary motor. So the dual permanent magnet motors are going to be your primary axle. That's what's carrying you around. And then you have the induction just when you need a little bit extra power or even extra traction to get you moving. So that's pretty sick. Love the dual motor or tri-motor aspect here. And they actually use, I'm not sure if it's still in use or not, but they had mentioned at one point in time a clutch disconnect for the permanent magnet motor. So maybe it's tri-permanent magnet?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we need more details.
There's a lot of theory from this video.
Yeah, it's not like us to speculate too often, but certainly there's multiple motors and things like that.
They're a bit hush-hush.
Yeah, Tesla's pretty hush-hush. My other understanding, just we can leave some room for some folks around, sorry to get in your way, is this is Gen 1 Tesla Semi.
Right.
They've alluded to a new factory, 50,000 run rate a year in Giga Nevada, and that's going to be Semi 2.0. So that was the big news for me. I don't think we had heard that from them before.
Yeah.
So they're like...
They don't even let us show the front grill because they're like, oh, it's not done yet.
I filmed it. We're putting it in the video. But it just sounds like pretty Gen 1, and then the Gen 2 can come in the near future.
Yep.
So that's where I think they're maybe even waiting on talking about Gen 2. So it's like, what have they been doing with these? Maybe durability cycles, use case studies.
Using them a ton internally and with Pepsi, but that's about it.
I've also kind of felt like maybe they're going to take some batteries out of it and keep the same range, but do it more efficiently, which is the Tesla way.
They made a big point about not telling us kilowatt hour.
Yeah, they don't want to say anything about the battery capacity because they're like, what if we take some batteries out?
And give it the same range? Yeah.
So,
which they've done with their cars, so.
Either way, there's not much going on back here. Let's jump in the cab. I want to show everyone the software, the screens. We're not going to be able to put it in service mode, sadly. But it's just a quick overview. And then we'll talk about what it was like riding in this thing, because that was a really cool experience. This is my first ever hop in the Semi, Jordan.
Ooh.
Oh, baby. How sick is this? You easily can stand up in here.
McLaren F1 seating position.
That's right. Yep. Absolute racing peak performance position. It's at 303 miles of range indicated. And I'm just going to tap, sorry to reach around you. 64% state of charge there.
Okay.
Yeah. Very interesting. Good. Seat material is sort of like the old Tesla textile material as well. Very cool. You can see your PSI over here. How neat is this? We've got cameras around. Whoa. This is cool. I'm going to have a seat in the center. Whoa, sitting at the wheel of the Tesla Semi.
How's it feel to have 2 Model 3 screens on either side of you?
So we have Sirius XM as an app. We have, what else do we have? Heated steering wheel, left seat. What? It's only one seat. This is not centered.
There's a seat back here.
Okay.
Fold it up, but...
Should we put it in service mode? Slip start, hell yeah. Suspension slam dump. Ride height, high and standard. Yeah, I think you can raise the whole truck up, which is cool. Charging limit, you can go only 100%.
At the moment, unless it's locked to this.
Yeah, supercharging tips, same as the car, precondition. I wonder if it does. Unlock on park, lights, auto, cool. Look at this, neat. It's like so similar. It's using 1.7 kilowatt hours per mile over the last 1,856 miles. Vehicle length, that's cool.
Wow.
Safety, allow mobile access.
Joe mode, that's good.
Yeah, service all the PSIs. 120 PSI on the steer axle. Whoops, allow Tesla to remote start. Did you see that, Jordan? That's cool.
Yep.
Allow remote debugging. Software, there's the VIN 573. Okay, rear storage present. We want advanced software updates, don't we? That is so cool. It's like so similar to the standard car,
Yep.
but then here. And so you have HVAC controls as well, just like any normal Tesla. This is exactly what everyone would need to have. You have heated mirrors on the outside. And then this display, this screen is like you can open storage compartments over here. You have your state of charge that you can adjust 303 miles at 64%. That's crazy. PSI, S&P. But there's no other like thing I can really do over here. This would just be a screen to monitor. I also love the door open sign. It's like a Rolls-Royce Ghost or anything. It's really neat.
At least it's accurate.
We got cup holders for days, storage, wireless phone charger. Boom.
Dual. That's nice.
Works. How long would it take for an iPhone to drain the battery pack on this?
Incomprehensible. Look at the way these windows open.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
cool. Yeah, and you have, stocks over here all the way down to adaptive cruise control and turn signals with a wiper there as well. Just storage everywhere. Jordan, do you think it does route planning? Because there's no superchargers really that this can use because it uses the old MCS plug. So it's calculating the route, 812 miles. No route planning at the moment.
Charging needed.
We need more high power public charging infrastructure. And yeah, there's no it would say beta route planner or something. So, okay. Got to do your own calculations for the time being. What's pretty interesting to me is just how high the floor is relative to the seat.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
I'm sure I can adjust some things. We'll have to learn a lot more about it when we go on the little ride. But wow, just my first experience in the semi.
That looks cool.
It's really, really a cool situation. So huge thanks to Tesla for bringing it here. Otherwise, I don't know when we would have ever seen this.
Yeah.
So we got more to do, but that's the very first impression getting in the truck. It's awesome. There's Francie riding in the Tesla semi over there. Nikola coming in to block the shot, typical. So we should talk about that. It was very low speed, just ride around the parking lot. But you and I both went in
Yeah.
two different trucks. So what was it like for you?
I mean, it was nice, autocross, but low speed, like you said. Yeah, my driver, I think, was a bit more chilled than yours, but also, I don't know, he was...
Well, I was with Paul Allen, who's awesome. He's a hardcore out-of-spec viewer. Paul is amazing, instrumental from Tesla for a long time. The only thing is he just didn't want me to film in the truck, like all the secret stuff, but he gave me a lot of great info.
Nice.
So one
Like
thing
what?
I thought was, well, the truck's busy in there. It says P on the screen and it has a park button, but it never goes into park. It only goes to neutral. The park button turns off the truck or energizes the truck when you put it on. And then you have your air brake control to lock it on the right side.
Right.
It also has, so my impression was the first thing we did, we get inside, I sit in the seat, it like feels huge, there's so much room in there, and it's dead silent. The loudest thing about it is the electric power steering.
Which I could hear definitely from the inside.
Absolutely. I think in Gen 2 they need to quiet that down somehow.
And at higher speeds, you probably won't hear it, but
That's probably true.
crawling around, that's what makes it
But it also zero rattles,
Yes.
It
Build
was-
quality is on point.
which every other truck I've been in, like stuff moves around and shakes. It was better than my Cybertruck. My Cybertruck rattles like crazy now. This was really good.
Interesting, yeah.
So the first thing we did was he showed me around the screens, has physical stocks, nice steering wheel, central driving position's really crazy,
Yep.
really interesting. And then it has a, sort of one pedal drive-ish, but not to zero.
Okay.
So they basically do the motors as low as they can go, but they do no friction brake blending off throttle. It's coming.
Oh, okay.
So they're working on that blending. It's a little bit
Is
harder
that a
with air
truck-
brakes.
Truck 2 thing, or is it coming to this truck too?
I don't know. The thing is, only really Pepsi and maybe a couple other Costco, a couple other folks have this Gen 1 truck. And my understanding up until we got here at ACT was that this was the Semi, and they were just going to ramp production.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to go through an overhaul.
I think so.
And then that's what everyone's kind of alluding to. They're not specifically saying
It's 7 years of development now. Actually, 7 years since they unveiled it. So whatever development was before that, probably not much.
not much.
That's the Tesla way.
Yeah, of course. So I think the Dot 2 or Tesla Semi 2 is going to be totally optimized.
Be very interesting. And if we could get our hands on any from a customer, because Tesla will, of course, won't give us any, and PepsiCo can't.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if anyone's left at Tesla Media Department, shout out our friend Rich who left. Sorry, we would love to film your truck.
Yeah.
Or at least check it out.
But I thought the screens are cool, all the camera angles. I didn't really see the rear camera, but having all the, the mirrors themselves have all the side cameras. You can see like right down onto your front tires.
You would never use the physical mirrors.
No.
And by the way, the turning radius.
Oh, it's really good.
The front wheels go whoop, full send because of the independent front suspension, which is unusual for trucks. It's more expensive to do it that way. But with the ride like this, they can do that. We did 2 launches, by the way.
Okay.
The whole thing stands up when you launch it, right? It doesn't lean back. It kind of lifts up the rear, and it was fast.
Nice.
And it was just traction control holding it right at the limit of tire. And so I imagine when you put some weight on it, it'll give you even more power because the power bar didn't even go all the way.
Yep.
And then when we regened, the rear tucked down.
Yep.
So we you slow down and it feels like Porsche Active Ride.
It'd be fascinating to see this with a trailer.
Yeah.
And riding it with a trailer.
It just felt like it would be so easy to drive and so responsive and so fast. I don't know how you could ever go back to a diesel truck.
Yep.
Imagine driving a diesel truck and getting in this. It must be like mind-blowing to people. I mean,
but it's so simple. Not like
Yeah, it does. It's just so simple.
Yeah, and the screens being like basically pulled out of a Model 3, like it's if you are a driver and have a Tesla at home, you get into this, and you're like, oh, it's just my other Tesla.
So they say 82,000 pounds gross combined weight rating maximum.
Yep.
But we don't know how much the truck weighs.
They won't tell us.
They won't tell us. So we don't know how much it actually tows. So there's just like no information still. But I just have to say, it's really cool for Tesla to come to an event like this. Shout out to Dan, who runs does he run the Tesla Semi program? But Dan Priestling, I think, does.
Senior or something,
Yeah, senior, awesome guy. He might be the coolest guy at the whole show.
He kind of, stole the thunder at the stage yesterday when the
Dude,
show kicked off.
everyone here has been so boring. Awful to listen to. I was falling asleep, and then Dan gets on stage, and bam, everyone was lasered in, focused on, look at this company actually changing the industry here. It was like night and day. It was cool.
Yeah.
So we have that full recording on the Out of Spec podcast already live and available for your viewing pleasure.
Yep. So, I don't know, final thoughts on something we could barely review?
Yeah, I mean, but it was really fun. It was a cool experience. My best day ever on my work. I've been waiting 7 years to ride in this thing.
I mean, this was a highlight, and I didn't even know it was coming till like last second. I was like, oh, wow.
I was like, screw the rest of the show. We're riding in the Semi.
And I love that they brought 2 Cybertrucks. It's like not the thing for the show, really.
Right,
like,
they're trying to sell Cybertrucks to fleets. No one's going to do that. But the Semi is sick.
Yep.
It just seems like it's priced. We don't know the price. So it was $250,000 7 years ago.
Yeah, so definitely more.
It's got to be more than that because even the Volvo VNR is $500,000, which is like a tiny day cab truck.
Yeah, and not.
But
even
Tesla's good at cost optimization. They have the 4680 line in-house. Like, it's possible that it's better. I don't know, but you can see there's just a crowd of people over here.
This place has been so busy. So
anyway, Tesla Semi, it was sick. We have no information for you in this video other than we rode in it. I loved it. I don't know. Did you love it?
I loved it. Yeah, definitely.
I've been in quite a few trucks. Not that many, but quite a few. Probably 10 different large trucks. We've been in electric trucks. We've been in hydrogen trucks. Yep. That was the nicest sorted package I've ever been in.
It just felt so different. Even the converted trucks, the electric trucks, felt like a normal truck, just like, oh, no diesel noises.
Right.
Whereas this was like clearly ground
This
up.
is a spaceship.
Yep. Meanwhile, Shell had their actual Starship, which was diesel.
Of course, Shell does. Thanks for watching our really terrible video on the Tesla Semi. I'm just shaking with excitement. I was so happy the whole time. I just wanted to film everything, but yeah, Tesla didn't let us.
Yep.
At least we were able to tell you how sick it really is. So if you're jealous, you really should be, because that was awesome. See you on another one again soon. Bye-bye.